Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first Parks Board meeting in quite some time. Very glad to see some new faces. My name is Anita Stanley. I'm the Assistant Director for the Parks and Recreation Department. And we'd like to recognize 4 new board members that have recently been sworn in. Ms. Olga Gentry, welcome.
Good evening, thank you.
Alfonso Santos. Rick Laude. And Robert Ortiz. And I'd like to pass it to Victor Vasquez III, who is our Vice Chair. Mr. Vasquez?
Thank you, Ms. Allen. First, before we begin, I'd like to call this meeting to order. The time is 5:43 p.m. Today is Wednesday, August 11, 2021. I am the Vice Chair of the Parks Advisory Committee. I'm Victor Vasquez III, and I'm the representative of District 2. I'd like to welcome and introduce some of the staff members that we have today. We have Assistant Director Ms. Stanley. We have Ms. Nora May. I'm sorry.
Marina Garcia.
Ms. Marina Garcia, Cristina Calderon, and Ms. Gloria Landin present here with us today. I'd like to echo that welcoming the new members that we have here present with us today, and now we'd like to proceed over to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under
We'll proceed to the roll call. Mr. Alfonso Poncho Ruiz.
Present.
Mr. Sergio Chavez Jr.
Present.
Mr. Victor Vasquez III, myself. Ms. Olga Gentry.
Here.
Present. Mr. Rafael Antonio Martinez.
Present.
Mr. Alfonso Santos. He's not present. Mr. Rick Laude.
Present.
Mr. Robert Ortiz.
Present.
And Mr. Rodolfo Morales III is joining us through audio.
Yes.
I'd like to move over to bullet point number 4, approval of minutes for the meeting of January 20, 2021.
I make a motion.
Motion on the table, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? None, motion carries. Item number 5, communications, bullet point number 5, item number 1, recognizing new board members. Communication, that's already been kind of already did the introduction. Any questions or anyone has any announcements in regards to welcoming our new board members? We'd like to recognize them and we'd like to welcome them. This is the first meeting that we have back in person since March of 2020, so it's been over a year. So this is the very first meeting that we have in person. Hopefully that it can continue despite everything that's going on. Bullet point number 6, action items. The annual election of officers. If we'd like to make a recommendation for chair and vice chair of the board, and we'll have the board members go ahead and start with that. Is there a motion for vice chair and chair?
I recommend we keep the ones we have,
Express interest, do you know?
which would be Monica and Rose, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's no longer
Then I
serving.
recommend you for chair.
Yeah, Victor, the second for chair.
Mr. Morales, did you have a comment in regards to that?
I didn't hear the motion that was made.
Right now, the motion is for the chair, because we haven't selected.
For the chairs, Mr. Martinez and Mr. Ruiz and Mr. Laurel recommended made a motion to appoint me as chair.
Okay, well, if there's a second, I'm for that. If not, I second that motion.
Thank you. So motion and a second for the appointment of Victor Vasquez, myself as the chair of the City Parks Board. There's second, all in favor? Any against? Thank you. Motion carries. We'll need the nomination of a vice chair. It's important in case the chair is not present, the vice chair takes over the meeting and serves as chair in the interim that the chair is not available. As a co-chair or vice chair, what would be the correct term? Vice chair.
Does anyone want it?
As a vice chair.
I nominate Olga Gentry.
Yeah.
I second the motion.
Mr. Morales, there's been a motion and a second to nominate Ms. Gentry as the vice chair of the City Parks Board.
I have no discussion on that selection.
Okay. Motion
And
is
I
second.
vote for, I guess.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? None? Motion carries.
Who's second?
Well,
I
I made the motion.
Oh, you're second. Second.
And Mr.
All right, so chair is myself, Victor Vasquez, and vice chair is Ms. Gentry. On my behalf, So on my behalf, I'd like to really thank you all for this opportunity of giving me the opportunity to serve as y'all's chair. And you know, if y'all ever feel otherwise, y'all can take that vote again. So I'm not, I won't hold it against it. So thank you. I'm delighted. I'm excited to serve as your chair for at least the next time being. We'll move over to bullet point number 7, staff reports. And we have.
I'm sorry, back to the annual election. When do we usually elect officers? I know that since we had.
It's around this time
Oh,
every
okay,
year.
okay.
Yeah, so we hadn't had an election of officers almost 2 years now, right? And of course, the previous chair, and in between there was elections and some council members and board members did not return. So with that, this is a lot of a new board. This many of you are new appointees. There has been a change now within. So we just by us arriving early today and having quorum says a lot. That we're going to be committing to serving on this board. So looking forward to. Very excited. Ms. Gentry, would you have any words that you'd like to say here?
Well, I appreciate the confidence because I'm a brand new member. I look forward to learning a lot and serving our community through this board.
Got promoted on your first day of work?
Exactly. I think only the people who are absent to let me know we're here.
No, so welcome. Now we'll move over to staff reports, and number 1, we have the COVID-19 as it relates to the Parks Department. I believe that's a presentation by Ms. Stanley.
Can you ask to see if the weather is working or something?
I keep getting that. Ms. Rudy, I think you just received a notification for the WebEx.
He's on.
I just said something and I'm about to open WebEx, launch.
Just tap what we can just tap it again.
There we go.
Very good. Right in the middle of it.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, I can be facing the screen. I mean, you're going to have a presentation, right? Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the presentation.
She can't see the screen? She's not gonna be able to see the screen?
I'll have to share, whatever information we have, they're all shared in the share. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Interesting times. I'd like to state that Coach Gomez would love to be here, and he actually is here. He's at the emergency council meeting tonight. Council called the meeting at 5 o'clock this evening to discuss additional situations regarding COVID. So, interestingly enough, that's our first topic tonight here at the board meeting. So, I'm willing that meeting will end soon so he can jump in and take over. COVID as it relates to this department, what we wanted to talk about and what we wanted to talk about is what the department has been doing since this started back in March. And what the department has been doing with regard to your recreation staff. You've got recreation centers, you've got aquatics staff that was on board, and management did not want to relieve anybody of their positions. So we had to reposition them. And one of the projects that we worked on for some time was the beautification. So we had rec specialists in the parks painting. Nora May was overseeing that project with regard to the staff. We did painting, cutting the grass. We didn't mow. Your staff didn't mow, so it was pretty much, and picking up trash. And so they were in the parks. They were in the parks 5 days a week. We also had 20 staff members of the health department doing contact tracing. And so they were there up until just a few months ago. They came back. And then they also helped at community development with these federal monies that were given. They needed staff members to assist in applications for the public that were there for assistance, whether it be in housing or in food due to this situation. So that's a little bit how our department has gone. Our special events were very quiet for quite some time, and it wasn't until recently, and Ms. May will touch on that in a little bit, that we started implementing special events again. And as the availability, I guess, of the situation rose to allow us to do events is how we did them. You know, first it was none, then it went to only outdoor events, and it's still at outdoor events, but they're, before it was no more than 10 people, you know, like ribbon cuttings for council, and they were spread out, and masks and what have you. So what still remains to be open is the recreation centers, and that's one of the discussions that they're having right now. And so on the table is the possibility of allowing the centers to open up, some centers to open up for seniors 62 and up. And so we're pending on that. That is supposed to happen on the 16th of August, which is Monday. On the 15th of August, all aquatics close because this is the time we do close. And so the pools will close to the general public. We've asked our aquatics manager to extend that as staff permits because he's got a lot of employees that have resigned to go back to school. And so they're traveling back where they're in schooling. And so we're trying to extend that a little bit to provide amenities for the public to enjoy. And swimming, of course, is a very safe one. You're in a body of chlorine water. So, and so the splash pads also, we're trying to extend those and take them through, you know, perhaps another month or so. So pretty much that is how our department has been very busy. Projects don't stop. Chris is one of our project assistants, assisting 4 council members, District 1 through 4. And she has a lot of projects on her plate. Council asks, you know, we discuss, we plan, identify funding processes, and then she takes that project and makes sure the vendor gets quotes and what have you. So that is her role. So she and Ms. Mariana Martinez is the other assistant, and she handles projects 5 to 8, and they have both been very busy. We may not be open, but that doesn't mean we're not swamped. So development projects, this is what the department has been working on, and maintaining the parks, because the parks, when they opened, people are out of the parks. They're not in events, but they're walking the trails. They're playing tennis. We opened up a bike program to allow people to individually ride bicycles. And so we lend them out. They call it a rental program. It is not. It is a lend program, and you need to bring your driver's license and you will get a bike. And these are $500 bikes. These are very expensive bikes. They're meant for.
Where's this at?
We've got them at 5 sites. We've got them at Father Magnico, Haynes, Independence, Jovita Ida, and what was the rest one? And Madriera.
I know that during last summer, you all were doing a great job of communicating through social media and stuff, even the news that the rentals were available. So,
It's been a very successful program. We've had over 10,000 people, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have pictures and numbers.
Okay, we've got over 10,000 people that have participated in that program since we started it in June.
I didn't
So,
know about that.
yeah.
Any plans on expansion into other, like maybe bike trails or?
Well, that's exactly what we were discussing just before this meeting, and that is a very good idea. You know, they are mountain bikes, and that was one of the things that you don't know when a program is going to be successful until you actually implement it. And so it may be successful somewhere up north, whether, you know, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, North Carolina, you know, wherever. And you try to bring it to Laredo, and it's not so much. This one was extremely successful. They grasped it.
That's awesome.
How did that work?
I didn't even know that.
We have over 60 bikes, and the only problem is we need to replenish them because now they're getting a lot of use. Before, we had bike programs in the rec centers with, you know, bike classes and what have you. And we had a ridership, but nothing like this. This is every day.
Right before the meeting, Mr. Lauret and I, and another friend that we have in common, we walked over through the Shiloh Bike Trail on Saturday morning with kind of seeing what that Shiloh Bike Trail offers. And what I was suggesting to Miss Sandy, that's something that we can possibly see is that have a rental station there. If you want to go out there, mountain bikes are a little bit pricey, you know, but if you put a station there where you can rent 10 of them, you produce your debit credit card to rent that bike, you know, go out, enjoy the trail. The Shiloh Trail is a great trail. So, you know, it's something that we can look into. We'll come up with a plan. And I know that it's over up in the northern district, so we can collaborate and then eventually have something like that back in place where, you know, rentals are also.
The ones that we have currently are manned. Staff mans them, you know, 6 days a week, and we're there early in the morning and in the evening till about dusk. And so, you know, it does take the manpower, but when it's a program that this is as successful as it turned out to be, it's something that we do want to continue.
Well, the bike's secured once the.
Yes,
the
we've got,
Our parts get vandalized and everything.
They left there over there or taken?
they are left there. It depends on what location it's at. If it's at the one at North Central Park, we put them inside the pool area. We are able to secure them at, and so that's and that's one of the.
And then we have I guess the proper contracts where the city's not held liable if they get into an accident.
There's a waiver.
Like there's a waiver, like we have the legal
Yes, and
documents, I
somebody
guess.
is.
You also have
signed
bikes
out.
like us tall guys, 6'4" guys?
Yes, sir. They're different sizes. They're for kids to adults, small, medium,
Yeah,
large.
they got training wheels. They got training wheels.
Tricycle. Tricycles we don't have.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. And I
Yeah.
live right there by me, so.
Well, there you go. And that's a beautiful
That's the best trail.
That's the best
We've
trail.
got,
Best trail.
yeah, we've got a
Really?
lot of staff.
I didn't even know that.
All the way to the river.
I didn't know what that Shiloh Trail was like until Saturday.
I haven't even, oh, you saw it already? I haven't seen it.
The Shiloh one, not the Haynes one.
take some bikes and you guys can,
But when I don't know
we
if I
can
know
show
how
you
many
the
bucks
trail
we
on
had.
bikes.
We walked in on Saturday morning.
Tons of fork.
But not the same.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Good job.
Under COVID conditions. So as I said, when I started, we've been very busy trying to be more creative in how we do activities, programs within the keeping of
We have now number 2 under staff reports, the website. You still on, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Morales, I know you had brought up this matter in regards to, we can further discuss it. So regarding the website status, and I don't know if Parks would have.
I'd like to introduce Marina Garcia. She has been instrumental in helping us update our program, our website. She's a supervisor at Hillside Recreation Center and has been instrumental. She's in charge of the youth committee, which has been very successful, and I'd like her to talk about it. Our youth, and so I'd like her to touch on that in a little bit. No, this isn't the eulogy, but kind of a little bit for us it is. To greener pastures, so we're gonna miss her. But having said
Thank you so much. Again, my name is Marina Garcia, and I've been with the department. So, Ms. Stanley has given me the opportunity to help revamp the website. Programming and things like that that we've been missing out. What we're working on or what I have done, and I'm actually going to pull up the, hopefully, live version that we'll be letting go live. So if we can go to the next slide. Actually, I kind of went through the first two already, so.
That one?
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of like the before and after. I'm kind of just talking about the rec centers, the different parks, the different pools, things like that. We are going to be incorporating a couple more boxes there to the site. We can go to the next one. Sorry. I'm going to walk around. Is that okay? Be obviously our special events. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, it's still not big enough.
Yeah. I know, sorry about that. As you month per month. And so as you can see, we are holding off on January and holding off on August because, you know, we do different events all year long. Dance, mother-son dance, special needs dance, summer program, things like that. There at the top. Okay, next one. Next one is our Parks and Development. So what we're going to be doing here is informing the public or giving them an and then, of course, you know, new parks, new amenities that we'll be adding to each of these individual parks or facilities. So we will have 2 areas which will before, after, that sort of thing. But so that the public will know exactly what we're trying to do and how we're improving our system. Okay? Next one. So senior pro targeted for senior programming. So we've actually given them their own box so that we can like, let people know what we have going on, you know, from different. And to the bottom of our homepage as well. And there we'll be able to display all of the pictures that we've taken at different special events and projects that we have going on. You see that big Take Our Survey button? You hit that and then it'll are what they'd like to see in their area. Gets a little background information on the see what districts are needing what services. Okay, next. Center closest to you, a video will pop up. We've been working with our PIO. Have some videos. I will be showing you one in a little bit once I get on the page. So as you click, like this is Haynes Rec Center. So as soon as you go to Haynes Rec Center, this video will pop up. It's about 1 minute and 30 seconds long. It'll just give them an intro to actually what amenities or things we have available at each rec center. So far we have 3 that have been made, Haynes, Hillside, and Fasken. So as we get the other ones, they will be added to the page as well. And I think that's, once you see it, you'll be really pleased with it. And other things that we're working on, virtual tours of parks and trails. So I love to hear that, you know, Shiloh and all these things. We kind of want to get like the GoPros and just have one of our staff members go through the trail so we can actually show it on the website to be like, hey, that's a cool trail, or hey, you know, I should go and check that out. Ms. Stanley also wants us to get like, y'all seen those virtual tours of homes, you know, you click on the button, you can walk through. We want to do that for the parks. So that, you know, they can say, hey, you know, this park has a field, this park has a splash, you know, that kind of thing. So we're trying to incorporate those sorts of things to each park. And of course, we're doing it already with the web.
And Ms. Garcia, I can add, and I know that it's something that we had kind of mentioned already before, maybe even having a mobile app for the parks, you know, something I know that, you know, one step at a time.
Right.
Eventually being able to add all of that to an app. And I don't know if that's something that.
Kind of like the way PD has,
Yeah.
PD has an app like that they can tell you road closures, that kind of thing. That could be something that we look into to, you know, this event is today, or this is open, or this one's closed, that sort of thing. That would be great. We can look into that, Ms. Stanley. I'll definitely get information for you. Also, we'll be upgrading some of our boxes that are already there, like our leagues, our fields, our parks. We'll also be updating the information on a monthly basis as far as the blogs go. I know we've been kind of lax with this since, you know, we've kind of been dormant and doing other things right now. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to get on the computer real quick, and I'm going to show you, I'm sorry about this. I'm just going to show you what the kind of changes are that we're making to it right now, just so that y'all can kind of grasp it.
Marita, you're gonna need the box.
Oh. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about the page. It's just, it's gonna get really nice. Have y'all seen the page before, what it was like? Okay, so I'm gonna show you the before, and then we'll go into the after.
Actually, yeah, I did. This last week I was looking for the times for the North Central Park pool.
Okay,
So,
Okay.
this is not launched yet, right?
this is what we have right now.
Current one, right?
Well, I mean, the new ones, when does that start?
Hopefully Monday.
Monday.
If we can get it all approved by the department, then we'll make it go live. It takes about 72 hours to make it go live. So this is what we're looking at right now. There's our bike information, our flyer. So I know you were asking, where did you post it? It's right there. It talks about our pools. Oh, I'm sorry. And then our event that we have on Saturday, which is our bull run. So this is what it looked like before. It just had information. So here, hikes and bikes, if you click on it, it shows you maps of different trails. So we have that available for people too, because I know a lot of people don't know exactly where the trail goes. So we have that kind of stuff.
So how the Shiloh Bike Trail on it?
Yeah, that's the one we're just showing, huh?
That was North Central Park.
Oh, was it North Central?
Yeah.
It was one of them. So this is the blog area that I was talking about. We have a Color Your Favorite Park facility. We'll be updating that on a monthly basis. Also using the parks and open space, we're kind of doing that sort of COVID. And of course, this area too, which is like a hidden gem, the Chapon Hike and Bike Trail. I mean, if you were to go down there, you would just be floored. I never knew it was there. I've been in there 18 years, you know? So when I first saw it, I was just you need to check it out. Definitely need to check it out. So this is what it looked like before. You know, very simple, kind of, you know, what it was, right? Because we weren't really doing a lot of stuff yet. But so this is going to be the revamped. This computer's fun.
I got a question though, whether,
Go ahead.
do we have police presence shown around those areas so people will know that it's safe to go there? I mean, they might not to be there exactly at that time, but, you know, there might be police on bicycle, police,
There's
you
a
know.
park patrol that said.
So, yeah, it's like, well, we don't have that much park patrol, that's why.
We have the constables and the sheriffs that are there. I know at North Central for sure they're there. I've seen them at Bartlett. I've seen them at different areas. So there is a presence there. They're also on the gators, the four-wheelers, riding around in the trails too. So there is a presence there. Yes, sir.
And we do have our city police, they do go from park to park. And so,
Now, one of the issues that I saw during COVID, go every day to pick up the kids, but the parks were supposed to be closed, but they were like, in the baseball fields and stuff, they were packed. The question I have is, I'm not gonna go up there and tell them, hey, leave, you all can't be here.
Now, you can do that at your park.
was Gentry, she's the lecturer. But the issue that I have is, do you call PD? Do you all have a number where?
You can dial 795-2800.
Implementing hey, nobody goes to the park and this and that, but yet you have baseball teams practicing. To me, it's like, well, we're promoting stay indoors, don't go out there. And the parks were, you know, you have baseball games going on, and it's like,
no, definitely call PD if that situation comes about, and PD will let us know. And so, you know, they'll take care of it right then and there, but they will let us know so that we can address it the following day. Or right then and there, it just depends on what the situation is.
795-2800. Yeah, it's not an emergency. You know.
Yeah.
They'll try to answer you there at dispatch.
And I know that the Parks Department has done very well about putting up some signage, because at least I've seen it on the Bartlett Park. In case of any non-emergency call here, you know, use.
They shouldn't be, like, you know, we had all the parks closed under circumstances.
Yeah. So this is the new one. Hopefully we'll be launching it. We've also added a sponsored instructors button there on top. If y'all can see right here, we have a sponsors and instructors tab there now, because we have a lot of people that want to volunteer their time or offer classes and lessons, and we don't really know, or they don't know who to contact, so they can put their information there and provide it. Also for sponsorships for, you know, anything that we host, they can fill out the form and we'll contact them directly. Like I mentioned, these are where the recreation centers are. This is just our special events, and then this is where we've added those 3 buttons, as you can see. This is a gallery. This is an event that we had. I want to say that this is at Eastwoods. It's called Benavides Park now? Arturo Benavides Park. So as you can see, we had a slip and slide, face painting. We had our train there, and it was Parks and Rec month, so we had a little picture frame where people took pictures. So we'll be updating this on a bi-weekly, monthly basis, just so people can say, you know, we always ask, can we take your picture? And people are like, yeah, well, where can I find it? You know, where are you putting me? And we want them to, you know, be attracted to the website, see what else we have to offer, that sort of thing. So we'll be adding that gallery there. And of course, this is that survey that I was telling y'all about. So here, like I said, we've added these 3 boxes, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on a recreation center. And like I mentioned, the video will play. So that's the first thing that they'll see. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch that.
Welcome to James and Lisa Haynes Recreation Center, located on 2102 Clark's Crossing Drive on District 2. Let's look inside. Sitting on 8 acres at 57,000 square feet, the center features many fitness rooms, swimming pool, basketball courts, and more. Upstairs, it has an aerobics room with lots of natural lighting, and it can be used has a dance studio, mirrors, bars, and equipment. Also, there's a fitness center with state-of-the-art equipment, stunning views of the pool, and the Tucumán bike and hike trails to inspire your workout. It has an indoor walk and jog trail, special events, and meets great experience. The trail wraps around the upper level on top of the basketball courts. On the ground level, plenty of natural lighting hits the floor. One of the biggest open spaces in the center, a double gymnasium that includes basketball and volleyball courts. Outside, you can enjoy a beach entry pool, play skate, and an integrated 3-lane pool to practice your lap swimming. Right next to the pool is a play area for children with special needs. Also outdoors are the state-of-the-art racquetball courts, and the facility offers 4 tennis courts. To support all of your fitness and swimming activities, Haynes Recreation Center offers private changing rooms, bathrooms, and free public lockers. We hope you visit Haynes Recreation Center, a vibrant facility where people of all ages and abilities can gather to practice their fitness. You can learn more by visiting LaredoParksandRec.com.
So there we go. That's what we'll be seeing when we click on the rec centers. I think that in itself,
Very impressive.
That's very good.
it's going to be wonderful. I myself, when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to Haynes. Even though I'm Hillside, right? But, so those are the sorts of things that we'll be having available there for each rec center. So those are just some of the little additions that we've made to the website. I think, it's kind of gone leaps and bounds, I feel. And so Ms. Stanley will be working with staff to get that going for y'all and keep it going and keeping it updated. And so,
Do any of the centers have weight rooms?
yes. So it showed the state-of-the-art weight room there. Yeah, they each have them. Every rec center has them.
Every rec center has a weight room.
Yes, so,
Just the rec centers that are the largest have the larger weight rooms. You have El Edén, which is at about 22,000 square feet. Haynes, which is at about 43, and then
this is our survey that I was telling y'all about. Really quick, just, what is it that y'all need in your household? And you just go through adult soccer fields, golf, gymnasiums.
Oh, golf there.
And then we go to the second question, which is the most important out of the ones there? We asked that, a couple of times. It's first, second, third, fourth, just so we can get a feel of it from the people. Then we asked the age group within the household, just so we'll know who we're catering. Race and ethnicity, of course, Latino not, gender, and then we asked for the address and zip code. And then at that point, all of those surveys will get forwarded to us, so we can look and see exactly which district needs what, or what they're asking for. So it'll help us. But other than that, those are pretty much some of the changes that we've made to the website, and of course with approval, we'll get that going. Also, we have our Facebook that was added at the top, so that it'll link them to our Facebook, which we also, coordinate and put our new activities, flyers, events, and things like that.
I got a question. The way things are nowadays, is it okay to ask what your race is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little survey.
Because people aren't healthy.
Yeah,
Remember, they put other if you don't want to disclose.
yeah. Also on female, male, I also put non-binary. So we have those options there for people.
Now that you don't know what to do, nothing.
Yes, I know. I just looked at different cities to see what they had and what questions they asked. I think this one, Corpus, Dallas, and San Antonio each had one like this, so we went ahead and did that. Any other questions or comments, or?
Mr. Morales, would you have any questions? I know that this is something that you had requested. Rudy?
He's there.
Anything specific?
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, this is a project that we've been working on for a few months already. It's something that we knew. A Facebook page, website is something that is very fluid. It needs to be updated frequently as the information changes and other aspects within the department. So we're very happy with where the evolution of the site right now, and it will continue to change as the department does, and the amenities that we have, and the information that we need to project to the community. So if you all have.
Kudos to you.
Very nice.
One of the good things that we have this now is, if let's say we have the live concerts, like just show clips of like, this is what it would look like, because you have those when we have the outdoor concerts or the movie in the park, like just to show like.
The tournaments as well.
Yeah, like this is what it is. Like just so that people, I think it'll motivate people to go out there like, hey, you know what, I want to go to the next one, or because you hear about them, where you're saying, well, is it too packed? Is it too?
Parks have incorporated amphitheaters, like
We have two amphitheaters right now, and some concerts. It's in the process.
For the new members, I'd like to recognize that now Coach Gomez, the Director of Parks, is here present.
Good to see you. Thank you. Sorry for being, we had a meeting between a meeting, an unexpected meeting at City Council. 5 o'clock, we had an emergency meeting, just FYI. They are going to, the reason I had to attend is because we're opening up rec centers on Monday. So I wanted to see what direction we're gonna get. All right, and I don't know if y'all spoke about that or not. Okay. So, what I heard right now is they're going to follow up with the governor, and at 12 o'clock on Friday, they're gonna come back and have another special meeting so that they can see what direction we're gonna
Oh, I'm sure
have.
he's gonna say, open up.
Yeah, no, he said he's willing to challenge anybody that's, but we just gotta see how it's gonna go with us on Monday. So we will definitely let you know what happens.
With that, since we're also talking about the website real briefly, if we can also go into a possibility of getting some kind of price, what it would cost for us to have an app, and then, what would be the cost and how can we pay for it? The mobile app. So if we can, if we could definitely look into that and then have it as a proposal. I know that budget, just passed, but, so they can tap into some funds or.
Is this still locally, the website?
This is done by Liquid Web. And so that was phase 2. As a matter of fact, we had talked about the mobile app when we were implementing this, but we had only budgeted for this. Creating a website is very costly. And so we did this part, the mobile app is going to be the second. So now that we've got it updated, I think we're closer to initiate that process.
Have a sponsor.
We can get the sponsorship, don't you?
You don't think Academy jump on something like that where here's the official
Anybody that
sponsor?
wants marketing
or advertising.
Yeah, like, cause I'm thinking if your Academy is like, hey, I want to be the main sponsor of Parks and Rec.
It's not a bad
Yeah,
I'm just gonna answer, I know, thank you for being here, everyone else, it's just been really challenging times for us because nobody, of course, for everybody, but through our department, I want to thank everyone here now before I even get started. Because our department went from 225 down to about 100, and then all our people got spread all over the place. They went to go help with the health department. Some of them went to go with police and fire. Some of them went to go work with community service. So we were all spread out, and we had to do the same amount of work with less hands, right? And now we're challenged, but now we're little by little, we're coming back, and we're starting to get more people back. We got our people back. Unfortunately, now we might, God forbid, we have to go back and do that over again. So we're kind of hit like everybody else. We've had some blocks, that we have to hurdles that we overcome. But I think I got a great staff here that that's got it.
Very. I applaud you, JJ, for keeping, you didn't have to lay anyone off, you kept everyone, we had to send people to different departments, the bottom line is we're still helping the families and everything in that area, and I commend you for that.
That came from
it is difficult to kind of keep everyone on the payroll when it's like, how do you justify, the parks are closed?
No, exactly. So let me tell you, I'm the first, and then you're gonna see it right now in the budget. You can see you're gonna see right now in a little bit what our employees were doing in the meantime. They weren't just doing their thumbs. They were, okay, you know what? Right now is a good time to improve our parks. Let's go maintenance. Let's go paint them up. Let's go fix them. time to go and beautify the park. So we did beautification, which you'll see here in just a minute.
The soccer fields.
And I know they were also helping with the food drives and the water drives.
I just think it was an excellent, it was excellent.
Every drive that we can think of, the first one, Highland Park, and that's fine, that's what we're here for, we're here to serve. They know that they're gonna count on us, and we're never gonna say no.
And you guys are always in the forefront, because I know like with the water issues, you guys are passing out water bottles and everything at the parks. So my hats off to you guys for all the hard work and everything you all do.
So I think that covers the number 2 with the website status. We'll move over to number 3 with special events.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
On special events, I'd like to introduce Lorna May. She is our recreation superintendent, oversees the growth of projects with regard to recreation in our department. She's been with us for 3 years. And special events that are implemented by the department. These are events that the director has asked us, this is what we want to see, or we present, we'd like a concert in the park, or what have you, whatever special event that is driven by the department itself. Those are the ones that Ms. Norame handles, and so I'd like her to give you a little presentation about what we've been doing.
If I can just add, piggyback a bit off of that. So what I do with the department is we have a lot of events that are council driven. Like a councilman saying, you know what, I want to have a
mud run,
or I want to have a
tree light,
a tree light, whatever. Yes, anything that's council driven. Mr. Romero, which is not here with us, he's in charge of working that area. Anything that's park share the same staff, all right? And one of the things that I did, members of the board, was our grounds crew guys were being told they'll work from 8 to 3:30 or 4, and then we had a here and that to record, but go set up, and guess what was taking the hit? Our parks sometimes. Our parks would not get caught up. So one of the things I decided was that, and speaking said, okay, let's get a special crew. I guess your special crew that all we're gonna do, our rec center staff, all they're gonna do is they're gonna handle all the special events. And you can see again the rec staff handles that. The grounds crew guys, pues si no tenemos, so we don't need them to go pull them out. You need to take care of our parks, because pobrecitos, they will run 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, and then get up and they go. So that's one of the adjustments, and thank goodness through the pandemic, we were able to put our employees to I tell them, it's no different than managing a baseball. You just gotta go what you have and make it work, and plan it out, and so, hey, I need some pictures, but we gotta somehow figure it out to make the game work, so that's what we did.
And with that, Coach, I'll commend you and your staff, everybody that was part of the 4th of July events. I was at the 4th of July event, but I know that there was one before in Independence. On the 3rd, there was one on Independence Hill where you all left at about 2 in the morning and then still showed up early on the next day for the 4th of July event at the Seattle Rec Center. That drew out a huge crowd for the fireworks. That was very, very well managed out there. Great job as always. That was
And one of the things I want to recommend next year for the proclamation, maybe we should do it for July 4th, because I know that July is Parks and Rec, where we do an event rather than, no disrespect, chamber, go to an actual event. Go to an actual event, beginning of the month, 4th of July, or the 1st of July, or just so that way we're kicking off at a park.
And that's the direct way of promoting the park, being at a park.
At a park.
Yeah, and
July 4th, sir.
So
July is Parks and Rec month, so we normally we have a little kickoff. This time we had middle of July by the time we had it, I think it was. So that's a great idea.
Like just kick it off, whether it's a Tecos game, someone throws the opening pitch or whatever. I'm just saying, we kick it off at an actual park.
We actually had one thing I did for our employees, that we had Parks and Rec night at the Tecos, free entrance, and we got them free hot dogs, and hey, here you go, guys, go take it, appreciate everything you do. And then the end of July, we open up the Lazy River. And hey, parks, take your family, take your family, enjoy the lazy
It's a
river.
token of appreciation.
That's right, there you go. You got exactly what it is. So that's,
They
I
deserve
think
it.
morale is important.
They deserve it.
Morale is very important.
And especially
We'll
this
proceed
time,
with Ms. May. She's
when
ready for
everything they went through.
presentation.
All over the place.
Ms. May, we're sorry. We're grown.
That's part of our event, and that's how we are. I mean, we do left and right. So we started with events on the month of June, and this is council driven, but with our help, because it had a lot to do with the outdoor events. So it was a family night out, overnight at Jovita Aydar Progreso Park, where we had outdoor activities and fishing and games, and then we finished with the movie, and then they stayed overnight at the park. Was been closed for over a year, so we were finally able to do our first event.
Where is that in the bottom, that amphitheater? Where is that?
That's the amphitheater.
Bartlett?
Bartlett, Jovita Aydar.
That is nice.
That's a bargain party.
Yeah, that's part.
New fishing pier.
That's what I was after. That's what we thought. It's a bargain party.
That is very nice.
And you haven't been, the new fishing pier is also really nice. We didn't have one, so. Our next event, 4th of July, which is also council driven. And we did have 2 crews for this. We did set up real early, and then the same crew set up the next day early, so we kind of split them up because it was gonna be a long day. But it turned out, both events turned out really nice. This is Independence, and the other one is, can you change, please?
Sorry.
Fred Benavides Sports Complex. Different events, from watermelon to, you went too fast.
Sorry, I'm trying to go back.
Oh, they created. One more.
To that one, yes.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm so sorry.
So we had different outdoor events and watermelon contest and plus the fireworks at night. You can go to the next one.
Now, these events, do we have a lot of people, like, do we get like
Yes,
head counts, like how
these
many?
events have been going for several years, and they, well, the Benavides is the first year, but we've always done them in Independence, and they are packed.
And we usually get, anywhere from 10, 15,000, 8 to 10,000. That's good. That's good data. When you go back to council and say, hey, we need more money because this is the traffic that we're bringing in.
Yes.
That's what we need. We
Budget for that.
Yeah, we need to let them know that we don't only have 500 people showing up, we have 8 to 10,000 people showing up.
This is our very successful Bikes in the Parks rental.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
Hi, Ernie Morales. I have a question. When we use Parks and Rec staff for these council-driven projects, does your department pay for that overtime, or how are those funds allocated? And reason being is I think if that's the case, well, you guys need to ask for more money for those costs.
Right. Mr. Morales, DJ Gomez, yes, to answer your question, 75 to 80% of our money, our employees are paid from OT comes from our budget, Now, if it's, sometimes a councilman or councilwoman will say, hey, you know what, we're gonna tap into my account, I'm gonna put so much money for an event, and then sometimes we can tap into that account. But to answer your question, Mr. Morales, 75 to 80% of what's paid for personnel comes from our budget. And
It seems to me that maybe this whole council-driven projects and stuff may need an entire staff on its own. I mean, I think it's probably a point when you guys can handle, and it's neglected parts of it.
that's correct. No, that's correct. And that's one of the things that you heard me say is that, we kind of put all the rec staff, full-timers and part-timers, to go anything that's council-driven, because in previous years, we had, like you said, groundskeepers will be there, and they'll do everything. But, I mean, like you said, our parks, we have over 100 parks, over 100 parks that we gotta take care of. So it's just a matter of putting the personnel that we have in the rec centers and let them host or let them manage all these council-driven. Now, to give you, to FYI for everyone, each council member has 6 events that they can have a year. Okay? So they can have 6 events. So that's 48 events, and they really want to pull the string on each one of them. All right, so yes, it is challenging for us. Budget-wise, go ahead.
One of the events that we've spoken about in the past as a committee is when you guys have to do all these Christmas events, put up all these lights. I mean, those are crazy times for your staff. I think this is a crazy problem, to be honest with you guys.
Correct.
And I don't know how we as a committee can express that to council, besides we keep our member right.
Right. Yes, sir, and I appreciate that. You know, I think in what you're just saying, it is challenging for us because I know these council members want their Christmas lights and all that, but I think in speaking to your council members and maybe have a plan and said, okay, we're gonna have North Laredo, Central Laredo, South Laredo, and designate some areas, and then maybe rotate them every year to different, you know, we keep 3 only, but we rotate them throughout the areas of the city. Because there was a time, and this is, I hear horror stories. I just came on board 2 years ago as a director. I heard horror stories. They got to about 7 or 8 Christmas lights, and not even the North Pole had so many Christmas lights. You know, so it was here. Yeah, you know, so luckily, I think, in speaking to your council members, maybe that you can represent, say, you know what, maybe on the Christmas lighting, let's pick 3 designated areas, and then every year we rotate. I think, a suggestion.
I think I would like for us to put that on our next agenda as a committee, and I think we should discuss it with our council members, but I think maybe we should also send our chair or another representative to council and express.
I would recommend against that, just because we have the ear of the councilmen who appointed us, and if we talk to our council members, I wouldn't want to go in public and then it gets ugly. I think if we can approach whoever appointed us and say, hey, we need to either do a schedule where JJ says, hey, you know what, we're gonna start tree lightings the day after Thanksgiving, and we'll do District 1 and 2 Thursday or Friday, Saturday, and then we'll do the other ones throughout the week, just so that way your staff is not running all over the place. But I'm thinking, I wouldn't want to go public, because if it does get out of hand, because we're appointed by our councilman, let's talk to them directly. I mean, I know who appointed me, I can call him on the phone and we can have a conversation about this. I don't think it has to be something where we go in front of council.
And I think first it could be discussed as a committee. We can get to that, Mr. Morales. We have the items for next meeting, and of course, we can take that into consideration as your item.
I had a question real quick. So it's 6 Parks and Rec events?
6 Parks and Rec.
Per council.
And there's 8 of them.
Having said that, they don't all fit into the 6.
They don't all fit into the 6.
You know,
They average, honestly, they average, I want to say on the average about 4. But they average throughout the year, on a normal year, about 4 events.
But if you think about it, let's say if we do hit the 48 number, there's 52 weeks in a year, so you're saying, let's say everyone takes it, you're looking at 40, let's say one of them a week, that's 48.
Right, no, it's not like Mr. Morales said, you know, we're spread thin, you know, we're spread thin. You know, it's just that, you know, we have to schedule it. If you can talk to your councilman and say, hey, you know what, maybe we can spread out.
Tell you, hey, JJ, here's the events that I want.
We can.
And with that, we're in the middle of presentation.
We can go from 6 each to maybe stay 4.
We'll let Ms. May proceed and finish with the presentation.
We got a question real quick. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, we can't cut, like, from 6 down to 4.
That's up to them, right?
It's a council.
That was actually talked about in budget, by the way. That was brought up in budget. They're gonna go back and visit. They're gonna budget. They're gonna talk.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank JJ and Miss Stanley and Miss May for being great directors and giving me this knowledge that I have now that I'm gonna take to a different city and make that great. 'Cause
Oh, we're gonna miss
this
you.
is a little one, but
Definitely gonna miss you.
get out on a great board, do great things. The city needs us and they need more things. But we need to focus on our youth a little bit more. So, yes. Bye-bye.
So, that's, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I think we answered your question, Mr. Morales?
Partially, I think we can have a better discussion, we can put it on the agenda next time.
Okay. All right, well, we'll get to discuss that as a bullet point number 9, Mr. Morales. That way, we can go ahead and submit an item on bullet point number 8, I'm sorry. Ms. May is going to proceed with the presentation in regards to the special events.
So our Bikes in the Parks program we've reached out to more than 10,000 people. It's been very successful. We started in next.
And these are spread throughout the whole city.
This is, yes, and I have all the parks here that we're currently, Independence Hill Park. Jovita Hidar, each park has a bike trail they can ride the bikes. As you can see, there's families there. North Central Park, which is our busiest one,
Is that extendable into the Charlotte trails?
no.
No.
No, they have to stay in the
Cross
area.
McPherson.
No, they have to stay in the
Eventually, there's gonna be a
area.
connection later on down the road.
And,
Hold on, Coach, a while ago, they were commenting about wanting to expand that program, and Rick mentioned the possibility of doing it, and so did our chair, by the way, he was nominated chair.
Oh.
And so he was mentioning the possibility of doing it at the Shiloh Bike Trails.
Okay.
And perhaps doing credit card operated so that we didn't have to have staff there. And you take it, you charge it on your credit card and you use the trail.
But we'd have to ensure that they're on bikes.
Yes.
So, you know, have some station there, maybe with 10 bikes, you try out, if they never bring it back, you know,
some
they'll be charged
cities
for the
have,
card.
some cities have the other metal bikes that they can do that. San Antonio has it, Corpus has it, I've seen those type of bikes, but they're just regular bikes.
Well, those are mountain bikes right there.
Yeah, these are mountain bikes.
These are mountain.
That's all you need.
Can you go back
You don't
one?
need anything more than that.
Right, but we would have to man, if we do it on Shiloh Trail, we would have to have staff. The bikes are open from 7 to 12, and in the afternoons from 4:30 till dusk, and it's usually, we change it depending on the time of the year. So right now it's until 8:30.
Maybe not a full site, but maybe a mobile site, or you could do it maybe Fridays and Saturdays, or
Right.
Saturdays and Sundays, or
We have a little trailer, I mean, that we can put them inside the trailer and take them over there.
test it, if it works, if not.
We have different types of bikes for those that we're asking. So from 29 to 28 to 27 to smaller, plus little kids' bikes for children with training wheels. We have those too.
Like the ones you were asking for.
Yeah, somebody was asking for training wheels.
No. I thought the same thing. I'm looking at the middle one and I'm like,
I'm telling you
that. I thought the same thing on the
We have a
29.
29.5, which is the biggest one. And these are expensive bikes. And they're taking a beat. We're trying to get some new ones, but because of the pandemic, it was hard to buy bikes in this time. We're finally getting quotes.
Academy was empty.
Everybody, I mean, not even like Pro Bike, which is the local guys, and they had none. They were like, I can't get to a quote, I can't get. Next one. So the month of July was Parks and Rec month, and so we started with the Splash and Shows, which is movies at the park, but with the splash, meaning that we had water games, free popcorn, free raspas. We came up with a slip and slide that you can see in Century Park. Face painting on Concord Hills. We use the train on all of them. On Concord Hills, we had the special needs train, and this girl was very, very happy when we gave her a ride on the train. You were there on that.
I was there.
Yes, she didn't want to get off. Go ahead, next slide. These are the ones that we've been able to do. Blas Castañeda's Park. We also, because of Parks and Rec, we put a what they've done in the park and what they like from the park. Next slide, please. Seven Flags was very successful. We've never done anything at Seven Flags, and it's a beautiful park. I love that park.
You want to tell where Seven Flags is, más o menos? You want to tell them where Seven Flags is?
Seven Flags is on the creek. It's
Ryan Elementary.
by Ryan Elementary. Beautiful park, very big, with a lot of amenities.
No, by J.C. Martin.
Oh, my
J.C. Martin and the creek, right behind it. There's some soccer fields there too. So it has a lot of amenities. And it has a skate
J.C.
park.
Martin?
Mm-hmm, right behind it.
We're here, brother, man. Well, you're paying shirts and all that.
The train is always a big attraction, everybody loves it. So we took the train everywhere. We still have pending Father Magnable, Chimayo, North Central, and Slaughter because of COVID, we stopped. So we're gonna get those at a later date. Okay? We also did the Hit, Pitch, and Run, which is a competition for the youth and the kids. We did this at Unitrade, and it was very successful. The winners here, if they did the good times, they would go on to regionals and then nationals. Next.
Oh, they had the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
The All-Star game is where they get the
It's sponsored by MLB. We also did a bike clinic this last week at Father Magnable, where we had all the bike companies to the locals to come and do a clinic and show how to safety on bikes, also the police and the Border Patrol, and showed them how to ride a bike and show them the safety and actually what they do on the bikes. It was very interesting. We have coming up on Saturday the Bull Run. This is council driven, but we wanted to share it with you. This is next Saturday. Bull Run, they call it Bull Run, but it's a obstacle mud run.
Oh, it's not like in Spain?
No, it's not like I don't know why they call it Bull Run, but
This Saturday, no?
it's this Saturday, very early. We'll have there's registration going on, and we're gonna have a registration at Unitrade tomorrow. But you can also go online. This is our first event. We were gonna do this last year, and because of COVID, we had to postpone it. It's gonna be our first 5K on the runway at the airport. So you're gonna be actually able to run or walk on the runway. We're expecting a big crowd on this one. This is gonna be on October 9th, 2020.
Very slow day. Flights.
There's two runways, we're gonna be able to use one. We'll use runway and the other runway will be open to traffic. So it's gonna be done on the old side of the airport, the old terminal.
Y'all remember the original terminal?
21 now.
That's where that's gonna happen.
The update that you're.
2021, yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh, wow.
That's where they have the air show, right? That's
That's the area where they have the air show. That's where it's gonna be. We're gonna have planes where people can take pictures and everything.
No, that's the old runway, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other runway, exactly. Besides this, we're gonna have concerts in the park. We're holding off a little bit because of the COVID. That's the other project that we do. We started right before COVID, and it was very successful. Our first one was at North Central Park. We do different themes. That one was back to the 80s, very successful. Then we did one at Independence Hills. That was Música Tejana, depends on what side of town. And then when COVID hit, we were getting ready to do a tribute to Selena, where we're gonna have a different singing contest, lookalikes and all of this. So that's still in the works. We're waiting to see what the numbers look like so we can. And those are Parks and Recreation events.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Mayor.
Thank you, good job.
We have now number 4, we have a budget.
Let me show you all the budget. I'm not gonna sit here and go through all the slides. I just want to just kind of put the main points. This is what I presented to council last week. It was a tedious 4 days of long days of budget. But, by the way, this is the pier at Butler Park where we stay at. If you get a chance, go around this time of the day, the sun sets towards the west, and you got that right behind it, and it looks awesome view. A lot of people, and including me, I'll be the first one, I worked for the city for 29 years. I had no idea we had a lot of stuff today, so, you know, hopefully we want to promote that with the website to make everybody know what's going on. Okay, go ahead. Our mission statement, which is to provide recreation programs to our parks, memorable events and outdoor celebrations that respond to the needs of the public and promote individual and community health. This is our department overview. We have a total of, we're the third biggest department in the city. We have 228 full-time employees. Administration, there's a total of 12. Recreation, there's 80.58 on the way down West Pine Point. We kind of classify them and depends. Was to get lifeguards. We could not get lifeguards to save our lives. That's why we leveled up the pool. We tried everything. We tried everything to get lifeguards. Back when I was growing up, you couldn't wait till, you know, summer or go to apply already in January and February because you already want to go work at the civic center pool. And now we had a hard time. It got to a point, ladies and gentlemen, that we had to offer classes, certification classes, for free. Normally they pay $120, if I'm not mistaken, $150? $150 to get certified. So you know what? City manager said, drop the fee. Anybody, as long as you're 18 and over, can get certified, because that's how we need lifeguards. So we dropped the fee, and that kind of helped get the numbers up. We needed 59 lifeguards. We were still short, about 10 or 12 towards the end there. And then, I'm sorry. And then on the maintenance side, we have a total of 83 people that do the maintenance of the construction of the parks. Urban and horticulture, forestry, which we have a forester, and they're going to do all the farm family gardens that we have is 5. And then at Unit Trade in 4 leagues, we have a total of 7 employees at Unit Trade. Working the leagues as well.
You're the third largest behind fire and police?
Behind,
Fire police?
no, well, that's another, I'm talking about, it's public works and utilities, and on the operations side. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, what do we do? How were we affected? Our rec centers got closed down, our pools got shut down, and Unit Trade and all the sports leagues and the golf got shut down. So what happened? 25 employees and 25 recreation employees from the rec centers and the pool, for a total of 26. They all got reassigned. 22 went to the health department, 4 went to health community, and then odds and ends, we went to different places that we had to do. What did we do during that time?
It's not me.
We have to beautify the parks, the fields, and the rec centers. That's what we say. You know what? This park, the swings need painting, so I want those. You know, and they said, and they were great troopers because, hey, I didn't sign up for this, you know, but we needed help. They stepped up for us, and I couldn't. So now you go. I know we got our challenges with the parks, but now all the little details are done, you know, because our rec center staff was access the outdoor parking, which is here right now, and then we opened up the tennis courts as well, that we were managing the tennis courts. Correct? This is all some ideas of what I'm talking about, the beautification park. You know, they went and painted, and at Unit Trade we put new rubber mulch at the playground. We had a concert. We've had 2 concerts that we put a new flooring at Unit Trade. That took about maybe about 50, 45, about 30 of us, 2 days to put that new flooring down for that we did at Unit Trade. So all our guys and girls went over there to go help us out. So this is what the staff did. Tennis programs. This is Mark and Haynes, like we talked about now earlier. You know, we've had some point. The 11,000. One of the newest ones that we just opened was United Day. We went in an MOU, and now we're looking to doing that more. Councilwoman Cigarroa. We're in the talks right now. She wants us, and we're working with LCC. As you know, LCC dropped their alternate athletic program. So there's a softball field, there's a baseball field. They have nice facilities over here, especially LCC Maine.
The tennis courts.
And the tennis courts as well. Lighted, they have a nice championship tennis court. So in talking to Councilwoman Cigarroa, you know, we're in negotiations with LCC Maine and LCC South so that we can have an MOU, especially in District 8, where there's not a lot of, recreation parks and no fields. And hopefully we can come with an agreement with them. We've been to the table 2 times already. We're gonna meet here next week to see where we can have an MOU, and that way we can open to the public, especially in this people, the citizens in District 8, can go to LCC and use the softball, the swimming pool there, the tennis courts. It's a nice facility. It needs a little bit of work, but I mean, nothing, it's a lot cheaper than having to build something.
Yeah, they have.
By the tennis courts.
Does it have soccer fields?
And they have, when I walked up to the field, they have like 3 multi-purpose fields, and my eyes lit up about this big because we are very short on fields.
And you always still have to man, let's say the MOU with LCD.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We would always still have to man additionally the services from the parks from.
That's correct. Part of the MOU is, hey, okay, we'll lend it to you, whatever, but you need to have staff here to make sure that between the hours of operation, because we will get rec center staff to go help us. I mean, not all day. For example, in the summer, we would open up the pools same hours from 2 to 10. But in the mornings, they would do using it themselves, and then we would, and then it's all together. I don't know if you've been there or not, but it's all together like a mini complex.
Yeah.
So we would just take maybe two people to run to oversee the project. I can have my leagues over there playing because we're short on fields. Soccer field, they got a softball field. They got a baseball field that needs some work, but and then in the back they got about 3. They have a nice walking trail. I was very
Probably
impressed.
even do the bikes because.
And we could probably
bike around the whole campus and.
I mean, it was my eyes that I hope
Very nice.
we can make it work with LCC. It's a win-win for them. They're not using it. We need more activities, especially in that in District 8. And Councilwoman Ciarroa really wants us to get this going, so we've been in talks. We should be meeting again with them in about a week or 2, so that they can give us the numbers. Okay, so let's see how much it's gonna cost us, what do we need to improve, and let's start negotiating. So
One of the things throw in there is to get like an office because they have those.
And they have an office.
They have buildings that don't have anyone in there.
No, inside the complex, there's an office.
So like where you guys can have someone there in case.
We have a
Cheaper per story.
Yeah, but they have a little office, storage, and concession stand que no se usa. So believe me, already my eyes lit up, I saw all that stuff here
You
because.
are pursuing though just the main campus, not the
And
south.
south.
Good.
Yes, ma'am, and south. At south, we have the tennis courts, a baseball field,
Soccer field.
and they have a soccer, but Laredo Heat is using it right now. But in the contract, we're gonna put that, we can use it when we have tournaments. So in other words, okay, we're gonna have a tournament, a soccer tournament, so we can use the soccer field. So that's exciting, and I brought that up, you can just check my mind on tennis. We're looking into that, and hopefully by the next time, we'll give you an update where we are with LCC.
The tennis courts at TAMU, are those city or those?
The ones that are gonna be building, okay, we'll talk about that in the next one.
That's on the next.
That's the next one,
Okay,
yeah.
just
So,
tennis.
but yeah, exciting for, for District 8 and for everyone, but especially, that we're gonna be able hopefully to get something going with them as well over there, so, go ahead. All right, we're biting as you saw, go ahead. Okay, just a quick overview of our budget. We have a budget of 15.8 million, okay? 8.8 million goes towards our parks division. 7 million goes towards our rec, which is the rec centers, the aquatic. This stuff, as you can see, of course, it goes into maintenance, just the maintaining of all our facilities. Our horticulture was treated, and then the administration is about, 8%, 4%, and 88% of it goes towards our maintenance. Over here on the rec center side, as you know, because we have the staffing and all the things we gotta do, it's 73% of it, and then close to 2 million goes to the aquatic. So this is kind of our overview of our budget.
Coach, I know that previously there was Berman who had the horticulture position. Has that been filled, or is that still a position that exists within the department?
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. When this COVID stuff hit, one of the things that the management or everybody, we had to cut back. So we unfunded, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're not funded. Okay? So now with the budget, this budget, we were only able to get a certain amount budgeted back. Okay? So to answer your question, Mr. Chair, no, that position has not been filled yet. It's still there. No, we converted it into a construction superintendent. Okay? My hope is to later on bring, I'll tell you what we're gonna put that, we make that also, because we want to put a park planner. That's what we want, eventually gonna go there. Okay?
Wish list.
What's that?
I heard the wish list term was being thrown out
Yes.
a lot, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Our overall budget, 4.4 is in contractual services. This is something that we go out, we outsource, that we have to do. Materials and supplies is about 1.4 million. And then on personnel, which eats most of the pie, is about 62% on personnel. Again, you saw we have 225 full-time employees pretty much in our department. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Our inventory keeps adding, but 70 parks, 58 baseball, football fields, 30 soccer fields, 27 tennis courts, trail systems, 11 splash pads, 9 swimming pools, 8 rec centers, 7 dog parks, plazas. We also maintain the 5 plazas here. Those very challenging, just FYI, very challenging because of the homeless. We have to. That is it's a citywide that we have to deal with. We have to go.
I think we're to finally clear them out. We're not clearing them out, but for a while, I mean, the old library there was a mess. I don't know if anybody saw it. All the closing and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, sorry, it's a city problem, and we're trying to, something happens, our crews have to go clean it up, power wash it. We have a farmer's market, we gotta go power wash it. So we have, it's there, but we also maintain the plazas, by the way.
Does that include the Bridge 2, 3 blocks?
Okay, the 4 blocks?
Yeah, 4 blocks.
We maintain it as well. That thing's,
And also, let's also recognize that this is the first year that you all will have a cemetery as well, right?
this is the second year. The second year that we don't have the cemetery.
The cemetery used to be part of.
Used to be part of the parks. Why, I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Let me go back to Border Plaza real quick.
Okay?
Is there any plans in the future to fix all those, like the water fountain? I know it's working and all that, but the actual decor around it, the tile and all that on the other little thing.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah, it's redone back on the works. Yeah, okay, so that's a little bit, that is because of the historic behind it.
Right.
I told my guys, don't even touch it, so we would have to go back with the historic commission, and tell them, okay, because it's hard to find those tiles, if I'm not mistaken, it's hard to go back, and when you're talking many years, it's hard to find anymore making those tiles. There's a lot of history behind that. And, I just told guys, don't mess around with anything, just go out there clean, because but they're just, to answer your question, they're looking into it, that's the historic commission committee that has brought that up.
Yeah, because, it looks nice, but then you get close to it, you say, wow.
Right.
No upkeep.
Right, yeah. No, and it kind of falls back on us, but that we can't, we maintain it, we do the fountain, actual water pump and all that, our guys from Aquatics do it, but all the decor, I guess you want to call it, that's something else, that's another animal.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind it. So this is pretty much our inventory. This is the nursery, and then hopefully in about a couple of weeks or maybe less, this is a little mini fitness center that Dr. Moptin built at North Central Park. We had 2 racquetball courts at the swimming pool, so he came up with the idea, hey, we don't have a rec center in the north. And I said, wait, because I gotta live over there, I'm sorry. We don't have a rec center in the north, so what he did, with his discretionary money, he got one of the racquetball courts, and I wish we could have we'll show you pictures of it, and he did a mini fitness goals gym with a treadmill, 2 decks, you got your exercise stations at the bottom, you got your dumbbells and your bands and all that stuff in one, really neat, looks really neat, inside the pool. So, we was trying to kind of do a mini rec center, fitness center up in the north. So this just came into our inventory. Hopefully we'll be opening up whenever that allows now. So
how's the golf course do?
Yeah, what's your extent at the golf course?
Good question. So the golf course by contract is a third party, has the Golf Unlimited. Okay, Golfscapes Unlimited. They are the managing. Right. Us as the city belongs to the city. So they maintain it, they have their own crew, they have their own superintendent, they do all the stuff. What we do in their contract, if anything breaks down at the clubhouse, if anything breaks down, recently, we have pump pipes breaking. And so we go and assist, our construction guy will go and assist that. But as far as, cutting the fairways, cutting the greens, cutting the slopes, the sand walkers, if they need our help, we will go send them over there to help our guys. Last year, we sent our guys, because we put new double wash sand on the greens, on the sand of the greens. So I sent about 6 to 8 guys to go help. But they have a management company, pretty much the way the arena is run by SMG. The arena is run by SMG. It belongs to the city, but it's run by a third party.
Let's say Casa Blanca, I've been going there since. I have never seen it in such great shape.
Yeah, it's great shape.
And people are there all the time.
Yeah. Now, speaking of, I'm going to throw this thing at you, and maybe this little pitch for you all to talk to your councilman. We have a Max Mandel golf committee. That was about a year and a half. Each like this, we have a golf committee. One and then lining up holes 10, 11, and 12, make them to par 3s. So that way people can go at night, because it gets really hot here, go hit the range.
Miles from like back in town on my job, and if it had a lit up range after work, I go.
Right. So what we're trying to get people.
Yeah.
It's worth the drive. It's a beautiful course. I play.
Is there a shuttle system that you play?
No. So that's one thing that I'm trying to. We have with hotels. With CBB, if you stay at the La Posada, they shuttle you over there and all that. But I wish we had. And I'm not being biased. I play golf. To me, that's the jewel. That it's a hidden gem. Yeah. I mean. And the two courses I haven't played on, but I will put it up against any course.
Yeah, and I know that golfers here travel specifically just to York's Hotel is back in town, they want to go have a good time. We can encourage that, but we really promote it.
Fridays are terrible. All the bridge is packed.
No. So it just once it open up, hopefully that Hart River Road or whatever is going to connect 35 to Mines Road.
Roof injury.
Once they connect that road, that's going to be a big asset to the golf.
But the par 3s will help a lot, because I remember Riverside in San Antonio had like a little par 3 night hole, and at lunchtime businessmen would go out there and they would spend
San Pedro?
Yeah. Riverside will
with lights on it. Okay, just real quick on our maintenance division, just to have an idea, we maintain, Chris. We maintain 1,206 acres. Undeveloped acres, we have 191. That's a total of 1,300, close to 1,400 acres that we maintain. Well, in total that we have. Groundskeepers, we have 61 groundskeepers, okay? The maintenance ratio right now that we have is 20 acres for every one employee, for every groundskeeper. So it's challenging for us. Yeah, the National Recreation Parks Association recommends, in the perfect world, that you have one groundskeeper for every 10 acres.
So you need double the amount of manpower.
Yep. So our guys are trying to, a lot of people are like, hey, why can't the Contamos Blancas? Ooh, wait a minute, man, we gotta. So we've asked our employees, we got some employees back. Hopefully we can raise that. But in all honesty, thank God we had all this rain. They almost got hostile. So Cortamos, and not even 3-4 days later, we get into one call.
And if I can echo to that, Coach, and I know that this board has brought it up before, but looking forward as to when the city is going to continue to build more parks, to avoid pocket parks. There's areas.
That's in the master plan.
There's a lot of so in the master plan we've abandoned that idea of building pocket parks. There used to be a small park for a small community. Now I think that the bigger picture we need to look at it is have bigger parks. That way we're not.
They're called regional and metropolitan parks, like North Central Park, Slaughter Park. That's what the master plan said. Let's get away. Now, give you an example. Yeah. Okay, I live in San Isidro, United High School. Within a mile and a half radius, there's 3 parks: La Primavera, La Regadera, Los Encinos, and Washingtonia, or Los Palmares, within a mile of each other. So our guys have to pull them out of North Central Park, because it's the same crew, to go cut at North Central Park. We have that's another goes gym crew, and that another goes gym crew, you know, so that thing is a monster in itself, but yet we gotta go cut those 3 little parks, those 3 little pocket parks.
2 days.
And I think that the best way to solve it is through statistics. How long does it take this crew to maintain these 7 parks? How long does it, because in a few years, we're gonna be adding the South Sports Complex. We're gonna need more manpower down there. We're gonna need more individuals to, you know, to get it's gonna be a whole different ballgame.
No, yes, sir, and that's what we're gonna need, manpower, you know, skin. Okay, go ahead. Our recreation division, again, this is our, you know, currently we have 143 field positions, we have 83 positions filled in the recreation side. Now, we're scheduled to open on August the 16th, I think Anita already spoke to you about the hours and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pending whatever happens on Friday,
Yeah.
but it's only for seniors, 62 and over, and exercise only. No other bingos, you know, loteria, and just come and work out.
Fire control.
Go ahead. Our horticulture forestry, this is the little different gardens that we have throughout town. Panseco is really nice, it's starting, you know.
What are they gonna do with that building after all?
And we have not been in there, we actually have a meeting with them.
Nice.
Well, maybe next time we'll meet there, we just have to get it, before we can meet there, we already have a meeting room. I just took some,
That would be very good, very nice.
I just took some furniture over there, we did a little living room.
Because I pass by there every day and, you know, I see where they fixed it up and everything.
Yeah, afuera todavía necesita, esto needs some work. But it's come always.
What exactly, what like road stuff, what happens? Like everyone always asks me, you're the person.
Okay, so that is a
What happens with everything there, who can go in there, and it's kind of like.
So we have so who can go in there? We have a volunteers, I think my battery's dying because of my screen, someone might be able to see.
Oh, yeah.
So who can go in there? We have volunteers that sign up, they get us volunteers, and we average, they go Saturday mornings, all right? And we average anywhere between 8 to 10 people on good days, all right? And they go and harvest it with one of our employees. One of our employees from the horticulture is there with them, guiding them wherever they need. Now, what do? They get that food and they bring it over to the farmer's market. All right, some of it they sell, some of it they give away, or anybody can go by and pick up. Hey, they donate it to the food banks, or they donate it to the community. So that's basically. Now, how much come out of it? It depends. You know, it depends cuánto sale de hierro.
Yeah, because I was just looking at it, we have the manpower and everything there, but I'm thinking, we're talking about funding and budget and this and that. I mean, my thing is, I've seen the one on Canseco. I work at the credit union there. I see it every day, and I'm just like, it's always the city guys. So why are we building these things when the city's maintaining it? I haven't seen a group of people go out there, and yes, you know, I'm not there at the office on Saturday, but
Right. Yeah. Our guys, just to give you an example, our guys go on Monday and Thursday morning. And then the volunteers, now they have a guy, Mr. Bueno, the Lucas, which is the nonprofit organization that pretty much took over that. He's actually taking over the Consejo, and that's funded to the third party of the city. So that's a difference.
so it's still city money.
Yes, it is.
It's still, whether you do it Parks and Rec or you give.
Well, it'd be nice if we have a meeting there.
Yeah, we can go have them, but yes, I get your point. I get your point. Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right, our rec center attendance, as you know, we got great attendance. We had, very little as the years went out. Once we open, we're gonna offer all these activities that way. Hopefully soon, we were looking for animals, and then we get, unfortunately, we've been hitting the snack here. But, our attendance, of course, in this past year, fiscal year, we didn't open at all. Go ahead. Our tennis program has been successful. These are the ones we've been opening. Our aerobics, our aquatics. The only thing that we opened up late this year, I think it was in sometime late May, early June. When we open, we're still offering water aerobics at Inner City Park and North Central Park. Water aerobics, lap swimming and all that. That's not gonna stop, Cowboy. That's gonna go year round. And that we've been doing. Go ahead. Completed projects, through all the projects that the councilman has given and councilwoman has given us, the different districts, it's about 1.3 million. Now, it's not 80% of it comes from the councilman's or councilwoman's discretionary funds. Okay? There's times that we can't buy something, or we buy it, or we will say, you know what, we'll buy councilman or councilwoman, and then you buy the 2 park benches and to swap it off, whatever the amount was. So we'll buy it, but they'll buy us benches or whatever we need, picnic tables, or whatever we need.
Swings or whatever,
Right.
like kids.
Right, because their discretionary funds can only buy so many things. There's a lot of them. Go ahead. Our upcoming projects, as you can see, District 1, we're doing an exercise station at Independence Park, an ADA playscape station at at Independence. District 2, we're gonna put a basketball flooring at the nice little hallway. I think Divine Mercy has it right now, really nice. My goal is for every district to have that floor. It's about $30,000. And you can custom made it, and it's made out of rubber, and you can play, I mean, it's awesome. We'll hopefully send you bring your pictures next time. We're doing a splash pad there that should be completed. Anita, who was that meeting yesterday? What was the last thing on that? Splash pad?
It was delayed again because of rain weather, so
Oh, yeah.
we're looking at about September, first week in September.
First week in September? Okay. Like I said, Home Garden, the solar for Councilman Mark, which is the South Laredo Bird Center. The Armando Cisneros, which is the field, the park right next to Margarito Benavides Rec Center, the little park there. We're fixing it up. The Clark Median Park is going to be and then we're going to design it with nice little design with as you go into the Heights area. So that's Councilman Torres. There's going to be a dog park at Garden Park, which is what we clean out. Heritage Park, some park improvements over there that needs to get fixed up. This is coming soon at North Central Park on the north rim, over there by Murphy's, behind Convergys. There's a detention pond. And talk to Councilman Councilman Dr. Mate, we are short on fields, so we're building 4 practice fields on the detention pond.
And that's the area that was previously used for the concert, correct?
Yes, that's it, right there. Yes, sir. And then there's also going to be a big old ADA playscape right next to between the pool and the trailhead. That's going to be a good $450,000 project through councilman funds and donations. The tree house over there at the Basket Rec Center is going to be a nice tree house. They should be mobilized. Actually, today there was a meeting today. What was the update on that?
Mobilizing on Monday. It's going to take about a week to set up, and it's going to take about 2 months to.
First of a kind, guys. This is going to be really neat. First of a kind tree house has been in the making since a while now. So hopefully, y'all will get this done here pretty soon. Belmont Park, which is the Councilman Perez wants to do a little park right next to the mall, where the Laredo Times is, that little Belmont area. There's nothing there for them, so there's some area there that's open to city land. They want to do a little park there in Belmont. District 8 for Councilman Ciarroa, Lafayette Park. It's a really nice park. Of course, it needs some work. Unfortunately, as you know, we have some issues with vandalism. So the Lafayette Park, right underneath the bridge, it's called a skate ring. We're going to put new nets, new lighting. Hopefully that will deteriorate all these guys from maintaining all the damages. All right, and then the senior, we had a senior rec center right around the block here, which was right across from the Hamilton Hotel. All the people from the Hamilton Hotel would go and attend, but it was federally funded. Anita can have more to say because I know she worked on all that. It was federally funded, the private owners took over the building now, so we had to move out.
Well, that was right next to Hamilton, no?
Right next to Hamilton, because I like the pharmacy.
Yeah, because it used to be the old Kennedy campaign headquarters back in the 60s.
Before my time.
I go by there every day from St. Peter's to pick up the Kennedy.
Okay, yeah, that was the Kennedy headquarters there. Well, I want to add that. I bet Jackie Manassas posters in there too. But anyways, that's closed, so Village of Sinaloa wants to continue it. So what we did a couple of weeks back, the old post office second floor is abandoned now. Used to be the courthouse. So it needs some maintenance, especially the elevator, but we're gonna convert that into a senior center now. The senior center is probably, that's gonna be now into the second floor of the post office. So she already gave us a green light, and, you know,
The first floor is still post
the
office.
first floor, but the second floor with the old courthouse is, that's gonna be, is that a senior?
Is that a city building?
That was bought by the city.
Really?
That was bought by the
Oh, I
city.
didn't know. How do you go? I was there with the marshals for a time, ooh, a long time ago, I
On
have
the second floor, so with it, I thought it was all that one taken care of.
It's court.
So,
Federal court.
That's, they were thinking of doing CVB offices there.
yes, I went there, correct. CVP office, we're gonna be there, and then they moved them over to,
Downtown,
El Portal, over there, so that became bad. Expenditures that we've come out of our budget, this is from our budget, these are for special events that we've had, from fireworks to tree planting, we close to 60,000, guess what's good, we didn't have a lot of events, you know, because of the COVID, so on the average, you know, it kind of doubles this, you know, when we have special events that come out of the, anything from Easter, Brazil, Conseco, Christmas, all that, you know, all that comes out, you know, anything that comes, you know, that comes out of our pocket, out of the fireworks itself is about 20,000, the one that we're talking about. It's 10,000 every time we do a fireworks show. So, yep, go ahead. And by the way, if you have not seen this is in District 1, Jose Alicia, Garza Park. And this is just brand new, looks really neat. It's worth the drive to go take a look at. This is Councilman Gonzalez area. It used to be an old little, just a basketball court. We put a retaining wall with seats, and it's really, really nice. It's a new dome that hopefully we want to start incorporating these domes, these covers for the rest of the parks.
is that tarp? The white is tarp?
No, it's hard glass.
So rain or shine, you know,
It's really nice.
Very nice.
Looks like a hanger, like
a lot of these concepts, like, you may wanna, you know, like that, maybe implementing like at other parks that because, I mean, it looks great.
Right, so now all the councilmen said, hey, we want that too. Okay, but who's gonna be the sponsor? And so, that was done with his discretionary funds. Well, and some CO money that he had from bonds that he had from, so this is what he put it there, really neat. It's worth to go look at it, believe me, it's in South River District 1. Okay, I think that was our budget in a nutshell, pretty much, presentation that we did last week. Any questions, I think we went along.
Who will be in charge, coach of the cemetery?
Public Works is in charge now of the cemetery.
It
Should be, yeah.
They are. Yeah, they did a nice little cabaña, palapa, really nice.
I saw that they approved the veteran monument and the
Yes.
angel monument as well, and
Right.
they funded that, right?
That's correct.
That's the city cemetery.
That's city cemetery. Yes, sir. City cemetery.
Just real brief, Coach, I know that there was a section where, did you recommend anything for the wish list on the budget, or anything that you wish would be purchased for next year that might be
Okay, so
needed?
in pretty much, I requested, because we need, of course, to be able to maintain parks, you need all these machinery and all that. I was given close to $1 million in machinery and for operations, tractor, a dump truck, a forklift. Pretty much what I requested for, we were given $1 million, we were right underneath $1 million that we got as far as capital outlay, okay? As far as employees or personnel, I got pretty much everything that we wanted, other than maybe a cement finisher that was not approved. I didn't anything else that we
Irrigator?
and what?
Master irrigator?
And a master irrigation, master irrigators, which is hard to find. One thing that we are very pushing that it's still approved is a park planner, and I'm going to emphasize that we have a park planner position. What does a park planner do? He or she will go with new subdivisions, will come in, hey, I want to build a park. Well, hold on, let's see what you got. Well, you know what, we don't need this amenities. We don't, he or she will coordinate with our planning and our building department, and okay, how much money is going to come in? How much money is our subdivision going to bring for the pit? So that he or she will, you know what? Was give us the money first. Right now, I cannot thank Anita enough she's been putting that duty. We're learning as we go, because that is not our, you know, our cell vehicles. But all of a sudden, I'm over here designing a park, and man, that's not what I do, but I muscle metals, you know, and I think we need some expertise, and that's one of the positions that I was granted for our park plan. So we're hopefully, we got some applicants that are they just finished applying, that, believe me, once we hire that position, it's gonna make our department, you know, and Gloria as well, Pobrecita también, trying to get money who's coming in, and who paid, and this subdivision paid, and unfortunately, there were a lot of records that, back in the year, that were not recorded, that we lost a lot of money because nobody was on top of it. And also, Sharon, some subdivisions out there got away without paying their park improvement fee. I hate to say it, but hey, how are we gonna do it? Let's put somebody in charge of that, because that's a lot of money that we're losing. So whatever we pay this person is not enough, because we're gonna get that money in return, so that we can be able to build new parks, add more money to, you know, to what we're talking about. Make Slaughter better, make North Central Park better, make Independence Park better, so we can make sure that we get the money in the correct.
And then now, aside from that, I know that now, since we have a master plan in place, as it was required for us to do many things, the biggest factor of that was to, so we'd be able to apply for state grants.
Yes, correct.
Or federal grants from the national, or from the state parks.
Texas Parks.
The Texas Park and Wildlife, and from the National Park Service. Now, with that master plan, we'd be able to present it. There's grants out there to beautify our parks without us having to dip into a current budget of the city parks. So that's going to be a help. So if you all are familiar with grants and everything, to go out there and do a little research, so parks can, you know, start looking into and kind of consider where to apply.
We did not have that tool, because the first thing they ask you, question about, do you have a master plan?
No.
No, so shut it down. But through, when I came in, and, you know, it was 75% there saying, man, let's push this thing, because this is the only way we're gonna get money. And we finally got it together. It took us a while, but, you know, we were able to push it in now. It got adopted, and we're ready to go, like what the chair said. So now we got tools in our pocket that we can go out there and get money, that we don't have to reach into our.
Now, one of the things, Coach, I was gonna ask JJ is, I know, like, you mentioned where you live in the United area, they're building a real brand new, like, they still haven't finished paving the road back there. It's all, when a developer comes in and they're gonna build that, is there a park or anything in mind, or is that gonna be connected to North Central Park? Because I know it's like wave 3 or 4 where it's a brand new subdivision, the roads aren't even paved, but all the lots, the majority of the lots are sold.
Right.
So eventually, is there gonna be a park back there? Is there gonna be?
Yeah.
I think you just said it was 3 within a mile.
There was three within a mile. There was brand new lots, because I walked through there every morning, up in La Paz 2. All right? There's a little area there, that's another park. And then there's a trail that goes around and connects pretty much San Isidro, which is called Northeast San Isidro. All that trail is supposed to go around and connect. In the long scheme of things, what's supposed to happen is San Isidro, by the detention pond right next to bushes, is supposed to have an underpass loop to get into North Central Park, to connect.
So it's supposed to connect everything in that subdivision.
All that.
San Isidro Elementary, where you're at, all that should.
That big
be able
trail
to go down.
underneath. Parks, but that's what the.
Let's connect the dots.
That's exactly
Is there
right.
anything connecting the Shiloh bike trails to North Central Park?
Okay, so right now, in the future, as we're talking about engineering, you have McPherson where Pueblo Felices, North Central Park ends kind of right there. And then you have
Pueblo Palenque.
Pueblo Palenque, I'm sorry. And then on the west side of McPherson, as you go down maybe about 3/4 of a mile down the back trail. Yes?
Yeah.
So the master plan looks like North Central Park comes around, goes into Pueblo Palenque, again, underneath McPherson, the trail will continue, take you into Shiloh back trails. Yes? Everything into Shiloh back trails. That trail will turn north and go connect to Divine Mercy.
Yeah, Divine Mercy is back there.
So that's, again, connect the dots. Divine Mercy, trail comes around, the Springfield extension, come into the Shiloh back trails, continue the path underneath McPherson to Pueblo Palenque and connect yourself into North Central Park.
Springfield extension.
And then North Central Park hits north, and then there you go to San Isidro. So somehow,
It's gonna-
it's all gonna tie in the grand scheme of things, sort of say.
Like the one that I've seen is the trail behind the UISD bus depot. There's like a-
Michael,
Yeah. Where does that go? 'Cause it's just a straight line.
Yeah, right.
But you finish after you work out, you end up at Dunkin' Donuts. That's the end of the trail, that's where
That one is just the north and south, I think my trail. That connects to Dunkin' Donuts on the side. I'm gonna try to put a gate there for you. Your ass where it takes you, that's where it is. But one of the things, yeah, it's just north and south, it's a 1.8 mile trek, one way and back. One way and then back the other way. What's in the works right now for, we want to, and this is just FYI, what's in the works right now is, what's in the works right now is Marion Health, right behind Marion Health, there's a water tanks. Yeah. There's a field there, and next to the water tank, there's about close to about 2.5 acres, and there's some soccer fields there. They were rented to a private academy. Well, we need baseball fields, especially the fields that we have a lot of trouble with, is Marquette Field. Marquette Field was built in a detention pond. So every time it rains, everything we did to fixing, that, all that dirt that we put ends up in somebody's house. So what we're gonna do is, we want to, Councilwoman Perez already approved this. The plan is to move the fields from Run Head over to the lot where the water tanks are behind Mary Hill. Flat area, we don't have to worry about it. The only field that will stay in Run Head is the main one, which is the big field. All the little ones are over there by the picnic area, those are gonna be moved.
Now, Coach, now we're talking about fields and stuff, we can move over to the next item,
There you go.
number 5, which is sports complex.
Go ahead, yes, sir. You can give me one on this one. So let's go ahead and move it over, and then we'll go into the last thing, which is the time use portion. Okay, just real quick, on Monday, we're gonna have a presentation for the firm. This is kind of the grand scheme of things, how it's going to look, okay? Right now, we're looking at phase 1, what we're looking at. Phase 1 being 2 clovers, which I call them clovers. Each clover has 5 fields, okay? 2 clovers and 1 pod. All right, 1 pod being, these are 2 multi-purpose fields. Soccer, flag football, whatever you want. And then one thing that I want to go visit 3 different complexes around the state. And one thing that I want to use to put them to use as well is these pods, we're gonna call it multi-purpose. We put a little baseball infield in there with turf. These are gonna be turfed out with it, okay? Because of the maintenance. And our maintenance operation of the grass is gonna kill us. And if you're talking about staff, Mr. Chair, so if we go turf, we're not gonna need a lot of personnel here, all right? So these fields will have an infield so that teams can practice, or you can put little T-ball games here playing on this field, and you can play soccer, you can play football, you can play basketball, whatever it is. So phase 1 right now, we're looking at is building these 2 clovers and 1 pod. 1 pod being the 2 multi-clovers. Phase 2 will be adding 2 more pods and 5 more fields to phase 2. And then here where my finger is the future, is the water park that is going to be built. That has been promised. It was going to be a unitary area, but now they're going to tie it into this area.
And I know that.
Where's Tammy U in reference to? 'Cause I don't even see.
Where
Tammy?
where is it? Do you?
Oh, this is on, this is gonna be here.
My question was, which way is north?
Okay, so here we go. This is we're gonna zoom out.
Hold on, quick, let me see if I can. Oh, but then you can't see the
Can
right.
you drag it?
Yeah, this
No.
this is where we were.
Yeah, now I get it.
Okay, so this is zoom out.
Wait, coach.
Where's LBJ?
LBJ is right here. LBJ is about right here where our finger is. Aquí está LBJ.
Más para abajo, way down.
Way south.
Más para abajo.
Yeah.
Aquí está LBJ. Y aquí está United South.
You know, United South Annex 9th grade campus is right across from that.
You know, Stripes and a United South
Right there.
Campus.
And then here you go down.
LBJ is further down.
This is what this is.
of that. Yeah.
Ya lo vi que todavía le falta.
Yeah, but just estamos acá, my head is over here. South is up here where I'm here, so we're kind of right in between LBJ and South.
Yeah, I know where Pita Man, I know where.
Alright, so off-road, and then the main entrance is gonna be up for Lomas del Sur, the extension of Lomas del Sur. It's gonna come in, you're gonna have a lake there, beautiful.
But you have to get through, can you get on it through,
To the loop?
through the loop?
Yes, sir. On the loop, go through here, and then the entrance right here.
Really nice.
So that's the plan. That's what we're presenting to council.
You get pretty wet with the
Yeah,
the designers, yeah.
Yeah, we rocked it, last fall.
That's cool. Beautiful area.
Huge.
Beautiful area. So this is we're looking into phase one, and we're talking about is doing these two pods, these two clovers, and the first pod. Get it going. Again, Round Rock, all those big complexes that I went to, we talked to all of them, they were built in phases. They weren't just built, you know, Round Rock is a capital of youth sports right now. You know, we want to be able to compete with Corpus, San Antonio, the Valley, because now everybody has sport. Everybody has
Sports
complexes. But my biggest fight is we have to be able to turf it, because if not, it's going to kill us on the maintenance and operation of these things. And for you can imagine the watering. Overall, all the complexes that we went to, all of them have turf. It pays for itself. It pays for itself. So to throw in the plug, please talk to your councilman and tell them, hey, make sure you all turf. Make sure we go.
I think if they're gonna do the investment already, might as well already include that.
Yeah. It pays off in itself, like Mr. Chair.
So those fields, they consist of what? Softball, baseball?
Okay, so this clover is gonna be baseball at 300 feet, but remember, you can only bring the fences in, right? So we're gonna put tick marks at different age levels so that we can put different bases at 60, 70, or 90. And then the fences, we plan a small group of 10, which we can bring in temporary fencing. I can always move the fence in, but I can't move the fences out. That's why I'm, just get big fields of 300 feet, 380 dead center, and then these fields are your junior fields, which is 12 and under. That's where most of the money's gonna be, guys. There's all these money makers. All this will be full of hotels, with the plan of hotels and restaurants and all that. And again, in the grand scheme of things, all this is supposed to be, the reason they do it is there's going to be a whole bunch of houses back over here. So, yes, and also in there as well, they want to put a trail. They're going to put a trail in there as well that they want to do for the people that are going to live in that area so they can use it every day. But we're excited about it, but it's hopefully.
Been there for a while.
And with that, coach, well, go ahead, Tim. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
And with that, coach, should I like to move over to also to speak on the tennis?
I'll let Ms. Stanley to take over that one because this is kind of every time we meet, I attend this one and see como cosas de pasando tennis. So she goes to that one and I go to this one. So I'll let Ms. Stanley talk more about that because she's more in tune with. I mean, I know what's going on, but she will tell you more what's going on the last time.
2014. It sits on 11 acres. The city of Laredo has entered into a joint use agreement with TAMIU. The city will have access to half the courts. There's 18 courts, 6 collegiate and 12 recreational. And so the city will have access to 9 of those courts at all times. There's different aspects of the contract that TAMIU is actually going to maintain them for the city, and so handle the scheduling, what have you. And so notice to proceed was given on this project back in August of 20. Completion date is approximately in mid-February. They are at about 45% complete. They're using Hellas Construction to build the complex, and Musco Lighting is doing the lights for the complex. So we are very excited. This is long overdue, if any of you know Tina Trevino.
The doctor's wife.
Yes, you will know that she is ecstatic doing somersaults right now. She's a very avid tennis advocate for the city, and she has been pushing for this project. It was, as I said, it started in 2014, went out to a referendum. The community voted to proceed with this. And so for one reason or another, it was delayed. And so it started back in, this past year, we were able to give them notice to proceed. So,
If I could add, Ms. Sunny, I know that we were at the groundbreaking just last month, where it was, it's gonna be a beautiful course. And it's also very accessible for the community, of course. It's next to the dorms, right, at me.
it is. And so it is accessible. You go in through the main entrance and you'll be able to, at the dead end, the courts are right there. So.
Right when you go in.
Right, and so it's got a pro shop, it'll have concessions, offices for the person who's managing the facility, as well as coaches. And so the city plans to bring, we've actually competed for 2 tournaments, level 6 with, level 5 with USTA, and we did receive them. They gave them to us in 2022, just to make sure.
When is this complete?
22 in February.
22? Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's around the corner. So, yeah, it's a big boon for the city, especially they're asking for. Right now, the city, the largest complex the city has is Market Tennis Courts, which was 9 courts. And so we had to have tournaments at Market, at Haynes Recreation Center.
What's the biggest tournament during the year? The Border Olympics?
For tennis,
I don't think they're
No.
tennis for
No.
Olympics.
There's always been tennis.
Not in Border Olympics. Maybe in other tennis. Not in Border Olympics. Maybe there's other tennis. There's airports too.
Border Olympics for the Olympic show. The Olympic show's always
I
been.
think they work with LISD, the school districts, to do those tournaments.
Yeah.
Right.
Border Olympics tennis. It was always the same weekend as the golf.
Just like the Kennedy.
Yeah.
Since 19. I wasn't born.
But that's something that they mentioned was
That was with Kennedy.
They were after the Kennedy
the
Scarecrow.
possibility of leaving space for additional courts if needed, right?
Yes.
Room for
Yes.
expansion?
There is room for expansion. And this property was donated by the Killips. So
So this would be open to the public?
it is open to the public.
Like a regular park, 8 to 5, whatever time. The complex?
Right.
Yeah.
The
They're gonna make
complex.
money on tournaments, man.
Exactly,
It's gonna be brutal.
right.
It's gonna open up big time. Oh, they will.
We're excited.
How many
In February, 18.
Now we'll move over with bullet point number 8, items for next meeting. Members, if y'all have anything that y'all would like to propose to be discussed at the next meeting.
I think you all gave us some more, but if there's any more that we need to add,
Just, I know that the city had that survey that went out, like, to all the citizens, what do you think is the most important? I think it was like, was it parks, was it, like, whatever happened with the results or whatever? So I know
I
that,
know we had to do that, we had to do that survey.
Right.
Who managed that? Was it PIO?
No.
I know Karen sent it to us, and so we, make sure you put it in.
Right, so we got it from the city manager's office, but I don't know who.
You want like a,
just kind of like, where were we ranked? Because, you know, they had like police, fire. Where would we rank with Parks and Rec? Because it was like, list your priorities. And it could be there at the Kennedy House. But I think what we need to figure out is just to see where we were ranked from the city, where Parks and Rec was. Like, is it something at the bottom of the list or top of the list, just so that way it's informational for us? And what can we do to be at the top of the list?
I know that's something that we've pushed also, to have a tour. I know that as we were seeing some of these photos, we were asking some of us not recognizing where they're at, and, you know, at no fault to us, there's over 100 parks. But if we could organize a tour with the board members. We can meet up on a Saturday morning or something and head out there and have an idea.
Alligators on and go.
Have an idea of what we're dealing with, what decisions or what recommendations we're giving. We're giving if, we're out there, we know what is it that we have, including the sports complex.
The way they have it set up, come one day on the website, we can take a virtual tour.
Yeah, that's something that y'all are willing and open to.
I know we talked about that.
We can coordinate. We can coordinate on that, and then, I know that, Mr. Morales had an item regarding district events. He wants to have a discussion on that, to possibly sending a recommendation to council. I'm not sure, and I won't speak for him, but I don't know if he was mentioning as to lowering or having some kind of input, but that's something that, of course, that we can have a discussion with council.
The update on the MOU with LC?
An update,
By then?
Ms. Gentry would be.
To do more and more MOUs with facilities, because when we had United Day, that worked out really good. They had the tennis courts, they were barely using it. We didn't have any tennis courts in the north. We put some lighting in right now.
The lighting was
And
very important.
on Twitter, I saw a comment where the city was posting something and on parks, and someone left a comment and said, when are you even gonna